Hello, everyone. Welcome to Aya Herbal's Apothecary, talking about astrology again. Thank you for joining me for the second installment of Holistic Astrology with Aya Herbal. In this lecture, I'll be introducing you to the houses and the sign associations. We will learn which parts of the body are associated with which houses. Now, medical astrology is a branch of astrology that explores the relationship between celestial bodies and human health. It combines the principles of astrology with medical knowledge to understand and analyze health complaints, help figure out illnesses, especially stuff that's idiopathic, and suggest potential treatments. Medical astrologers believe that the position and movements of celestial bodies at the time of a person's birth can influence their physical and psychological well-being throughout their lives. Medical astrology traditionally associates specific zodiac signs, planets, and their houses with different parts of the body and organs and systems. For example, Aries is linked to the head, Leo to the heart, and Pisces to the feet. Planetary influences are also considered, with each planet associated with a specific health condition. For instance, Jupiter is linked with the liver or liver-related issues, and Mars is linked to heat, where the body heats up, inflammation, and fevers. Okay, so a person's birth chart is a map of the planetary positions when they were born, and it is used to analyze, potential health vulnerabilities and strengths. We can use these tools to examine planetary aspects, transits, things that are coming up, and progressions, because you also have a progressive chart along with your birth chart, because your sign does progress throughout life. So your chart does change a little bit as you live your life. And we can also use these things, the aspects, transition, and progressions, to identify possible health imbalances or predispositions. By understanding the astrological influence on an individual's health, medical astrologers aim to provide insights into potential health risks. And this allows the individual to take preventative measures. And also, you can kind of see what kind of complementary treatments may help for this person once you get into what their elements are, what their predispositions are like. You can see if acupuncture or Reiki or massage therapy, etc., would be good for this person. Now, while this is interesting too, it's important to note that medical astrology is considered an alternative or complementary approach to healthcare, and it is not suitable for conventional medical diagnosis and treatment. While it can offer some perspectives and insight, it is essential to consult your primary care physician or qualified medical professional for any medical health concern. Now, holistic health plus medical astrology equals holistic astrology. So this is where I like to throw in the mind, body, and spirit balance and mix it all together. We're still using the natal chart to discover the individual's healthy body formula. and what makes you want to live your best life. Who are you, and what do you want out of life? So I like to call this little mixture of what I do, because I just throw a lot of stuff together, and I use Vedic, I use a little bit esoteric, I use holistic, I use a lot of astrologies together because a lot of them are similar and they all lead back to the same place. Now, I am a sidereal astrologer, and we will be including a fucus in this lecture. If you'd like to learn more about sidereal astrology, check out the links in the description of this video, and I will point you over to the Sidereal Revolution that's on Facebook, and also learn sidereal astrology with Captain Ike. Now, let's get started. And to note, this information is for entertainment purposes only and is not intended to cure or diagnose any illness or ailment. I'm not a professional medical expert and cannot diagnose, treat, or possibly cure any disease or ailment. Let's get that out of the way first. It's to be used as a possible guide. Okay. Now, in this series, we're going to go over the houses and what they mean in astrology. And what they mean in astrology. Oops. Come back. And how to apply the sign rulership to our overall health. We will use Aries rising as the beginning to make this process simple. We're going to start at the beginning. I'm not going to start like doing Mars and Venus goes like that. So we're going to go Aries first house, Taurus second house, and so on. The first, 6th, 8th, and 12th house are considered important houses for health indications. Now, keep in mind that although the rising may change, the original ruler's presence remains. At the end of this series, you will know how to pinpoint where to look for clues of imbalances. Looking for clues in the natal chart starts at the ascendant. Let's say, for instance, that you have a Taurus ascendant. Do you suffer with frequent colds or sore throats? Maybe. It's kind of like that. And then if you are a Virgo rising, do you have a lot of digestive complaints? Or do you have a lot of foods that cause your tummy to be upset or kind of fickle? Do you not tolerate? Do you just not tolerate a lot of foods? Do you have a lot of stomach upsets? Even when you don't eat anything, is your tummy just in general very tender? The digestive system overall. Okay. Now, we use the 7 gods or chakras as a reference to the body's main energy centers. We know through the study of matter and energy, quantum physics, that everything is energy. Everything has its own vibrational frequency. This energy has many names depending on the culture. Ki, Chi, Prana, Mana, etc. Throughout history, Egyptians, Mayans, Native Americans, Chinese, Greeks, Hindus have all known about these energy centers. The planet also has chakras. We will associate 1 or 2 of the energy centers with each house. This to ensure you remember 13 signs on a deeper level. Chakra is another name for the 7 souls of Ra. Kemet, or energy wheel circle in Sanskrit. These energy centers represent our life force, and when they align, it's called Kundalini, or the soul will reach enlightenment. It is said that our divine feminine energy rests in our root chakra. That's for male and female. When we are able to unblock and or balance each energy center, we then are open to the energy centers of the cosmos. We open up the energy of the cosmos to flow through us. Then we push the stop button. Okay, let's get back going where we were. Alrighty. Now, do you know what your birthstone is? Crystals, stones, or gems will be included with each description of the house. This also helps with memory, and it gives you knowledge of easy healing tools to use or suggest. Crystals are said to interact with the body's energy field. Many crystals work well with certain parts of the body, and we will learn a few. We will be learning the most basic crystals, because when you get into crystals or using crystals, you want to be sure to, if you do not study astrology regularly, just in general, you would want to know what kind of stone you're using and if it is compatible with your energy. Because say for instance, if you have heavy Mars and you get a stone that activates Mars, then that's only causing more heat, inflammation, or fever. So you would want to get something that is going to be compatible with you. So I'm just going to name just mainstream stones that you would find pretty much anywhere. But I do encourage you to do your own research before using a stone for any therapy. Okay? The use of crystals crystals and stones may promote well-being by increasing good energy and dispelling bad energy. But like I said, that is subjective, because you would like to speak to someone who is familiar with the energies of the stone and can correctly match you with a stone for your needs. Okay? The first house is represented by Aries and will always have the essence of fire. The first house is associated with your approach, appearance, and the first impressions that you give. The first house shows how we act under stress and fight illness. This house is an extension of the AC. So it shows how you begin your journey through life. The appearance of your face, posture, and bone structure are believed to be seen to some extent through the first house. Water is one of the weakest elements for the first house because it's magnetic. And Venus in the first may indicate someone who is charming and likes to look their best. It may also produce pimples on the face. Sun in the first house may indicate chronic headaches. Okay. Now, the ascendant, or the first house, is the life and health of the body. Looking here will give you clues to hair, skin, and nails. Even the native's physical stature and vitality can be found here. The chakra associated with this house is the third eye chakra. Now, stones for the third eye: lapis-lazuli for inner vision, and lepidolite for emotional healing and stress relief. And some of these stones I will have trouble pronouncing, Don't even come at me. I'm doing my best to pronounce these names of these stones. Some of them are difficult to just roll off the tongue for sure. Okay. Now, the second house is the Taurus house. The second house is represented by Taurus and will always hold the essence of Earth. Bodily awareness is a second house thing. The way in which you look after your body can be found here. For instance, I have Uranus in my second house, and out of nowhere, I'll start a fitness routine and may have lifestyle changes and get great results too. And one day I'll just stop, and a month will go by before I do it again. The second house indicates how you value yourself physically, your self-worth. The foods we take in are also shown here, and indulgence. The second house is the face, teeth, tongue, voice, the right eye, the neck, etc. It could go into the glotted, things in the throat. So this may be the house where we can find a singer's beautiful voice or a condition in the right eye, like keratoconus, the cone shape of an eyeball. My son has this condition. We can go on to associate the metabolism here, since Taurus rules gluttony. The chakra associated with this house is the throat chakra. And stones are Amazonite and blue lace agate. Okay. The third house is represented by Gemini and will always have the energy of air. The left brain, speech, comprehension, and writing, to name a few things associated with the third house. This house can show us how a person thinks about their health. Am I going to recover fast or slow? Hearing is also found here. Mental thoughts and body parts below the neck are governed by the third house. This house rules the lungs, bronchial tubes, upper lungs, inspiration, breathing in, the nerves, oxygen of the blood. Also, loosely, the thinking processes are found here. How we think. The chakra associated with this house is the heart chakra. Stones, moss agate, and amber. Now, the fourth house represents Cancer, and this house will have the influence of water. The development of our emotional life as a child is found here. How you de-stress may be found here. Your ideal comfort food is also found here. And emotional eating habits is found in this house. Planets in this house may indicate conditions you may have at a later age, since this house represents the end of life. Your conditions at the end of life. Okay? We know that this house is associated with the moon, and that the water in the body is ruled by this house. This house rules the breast, stomach, lower lung, esophagus, the womb, etc. And also some digestive issues, since the stomach is here. The fourth house can show inherited conditions. This house is associated with the heart chakra and also with the root chakra, foundations. I had the root here due to the weight balancing issues associated with Cancer. I'm getting a lot of water weight, And the stones associated with this house are rose quartz, moonstone, and apatite. The fifth house is represented by fire, represented by Leo. So we're back at fire again. And healthy self-expression is the goal. The way you find your happiness is found in this house. The fifth house, we're going to start over. Hold on a second. All right. So fire in Leo in the fifth house. The fifth house can be used to indicate illnesses of children or troubled or successful pregnancies also. Now this house rules the heart, aorta, sides of the body, back problems for sure. I know that. Sure. Back problems and the gallbladder. The heart chakra is associated with this house. Stones, rose quartz, malachite, and yellow jasper. All right. The sixth house is represented by Virgo, so we're at Earth again. Habits and patterns. This is the house where you can see how you maintain your health, how you can maintain your health. Pisces in this house may indicate dancing or swimming to maintain your health. This is a good way to start to exercise. Gemini may benefit from deep breathing exercises. Capricorn, Tai Chi, and Pilates. Also, a good tip, check your doctor's Saturn if you can to make sure it doesn't fall in your sixth house. If it falls in your sixth house, get a second opinion. That is not the doctor for you. Saturn makes things cold, limited, slow down. Remember that. Check your doctor's Saturn to make sure it does not fall into your sixth house. This house rules the upper intestinal area, colon, pancreas, abdomen, overindulgence, and glucose. Herbs that may enhance health can be located using the sixth house. Say, for instance, you have Pisces in this house. Maybe something like cleavers can help you. Cleavers is associated with the lymphatic system, like Pisces. So you can kind of use it like that. The chakra association is the root chakra and solar plexus chakra. Stones for the sixth house, black obsidian, tiger's eye, and green fluorite. The seventh house is represented by Libra and holds the essence of air, all about balance, love, giving and receiving, the most basic human needs. If your doctor's Venus falls in your sixth house, then you are in great hands. This house describes what kind of doctors you should look for. I also read that the inner ear is of this house too. But the seventh house rules your sense of balance, kidneys, ovaries, lumbar spine, and your chemical balance within the body. This house is associated with the solar plexus chakra. Stones for this house is carnelian, rubeol, and clear quartz. Ooh, the eighth house. The eighth house is Scorpio and holds the essence of water. The eighth house shows what we do to destroy ourselves. Benefits here may indicate an easy transition and timing our circumstances of death. This house also rules the colon. Now, this house rules the excretory system, bladder, nose, sexual organs, toxins in the body, the cervix, and inherited diseases. This house is associated with the root and the sacral chakras. Stones include carnelian, bloodstone, and smoky quartz. The ninth house is represented by Sagittarius and holds the essence of fire. And many astrologers, especially in Vedic astrology, do not follow this what I'm saying after the house. And I say this is associated by air, water, fire. In Vedic astrology, they don't really acknowledge that, but I like to keep that in mind, that Aries is originally the first, and if you follow it accordingly, each element will fall into the houses like that. So I like to keep that in mind. So that's why I say this house, the ninth house, is represented by Sagittarius, and it will always hold the essence of fire. So if another sign is ruling this house in your chart, and say Aquarius, then they will associate it with air and not fire. But I like to also keep in mind that this house is associated with fire. Okay. And this house rules the right side of the brain. Remember, the third house is the left brain, and the ninth house is going to be the right brain. This is visual awareness, imagination, music awareness, and our coordination is found here. So this house also rules the thighs, the arterial circulation, hips, femur, liver, pancreas, and it also has influence over the central nervous system. The house associated, the chakras, that's a type of misword, the chakras associated with this house is the sacral plexus, the crown, and heart chakra. Stones are the chrysocolla, bloodstone, and blue quartz. The 10th house is represented by Capricorn and will hold the essence of earth. Qualities of discipline and determination are found in this house. Depression is also found here, like when we can't achieve things, because this is the house of status. So this house rules the knees, the skin, ligaments, tendons, and the cuticles of the body. This house is associated with the root chakra. And the stones are black tourmaline and selenite are some of the stones you can use for these ailments or this house. The 11th house is represented by Aries and will always hold the essence of air, the house of chronic diseases and social life. How many friends do you have? Are you isolated? Things like that. This house rules the electrical system of the body, the ankles, shins, and the quality of the blood is found here. The chakras associated with this house are the third eye, the root, and the heart. And stones include bloodstone and ocean jasper. Now, the 12th house is represented by Pisces and will always hold the energy of water. In this house, we can find suffering, withdrawal symptoms, mental illness, and hard to diagnose conditions. Stress can trigger the 12th house. But it can also show you possible cure of diseases. This house rules the lymphatic system, feet, toes, sleep, and it can also show you hypochondriacs. The chakras associated with this house are the root, the third eye, and the crown chakra. And stones are azurite, pyrite, and celestite. Celestite. I think that's how you say it. Then we have the 13th sign. The fucus is found between Scorpio and Sagittarius. Okay? And where fucus is your chart is where you hold this energy. Awareness to this helps us know how to deal with stressors. For instance, having a fucus in the 5th house may indicate an ability to bring creations from meditation, from like ESP exercises, etc. Being in tune. The sign rules the pineal gland, the heart, and the extrasensory perception, ESP. This house is associated with all 7 chakras. And stones associated: amethyst, lepidolite, and moldavite. Moldavite. Yes. Okay. Now, by now, maybe you can see that medical astrology can be a powerful tool to finding your personal healthy body formula. Take the time to become familiar with what each sign represents and where the energy falls in your chart. Then become familiar with each house and where they correspond to the body. I've listed here some great books for reference, including the series written by Judith Hill. They're awesome. They're a great place to start. They are a wonderful place to start. And if you'd like to contact me, you can do so at healthybodyformulas@gmail.com. And be sure, if you like this little mini lecture, please be sure to like and subscribe for more material. And I'd just like to take this time to express my gratitude for your support and for being a part of this content community that I'm starting to dole out here. And thank you for taking the time to watch and engage with my content. I truly appreciate it. Now, if you haven't, like I said, please, I kindly invite you to subscribe to our channel. And subscribing will ensure that you never miss an update. And it helps to grow this channel. And if you find the content helpful or entertaining or informative, I would appreciate if you share our content with maybe your friends and family. Your support plays a vital role in helping us grow and connect with more people who can benefit from what we have to offer. Thank you again, though, for being a part of this. And your support inspires me to create more content and get higher quality content on here. And I am truly grateful for that. If you have any suggestions, feedback, or specific questions Don't hesitate to reach out. Your input is very valuable, and I strive to improve and cater to the interest of the people who need this information. Thank you.